Hi, I'm Greg,
Hi, I'm Will.
and welcome to our next episode of Theme Parks and Patents.
Today we're talking about the controlled spinning coaster.
So we're going to do this, I think, in three parts. We had talked briefly about the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster, Cosmic Rewind, and so we're just going to go back through that patent today. And then in upcoming videos, we're going to compare that patent, because that's one we know of for a controlled spinning coaster, and we're going to look at the Fast and the Furious ride coming to Universal Studios in Hollywood, and then I think we'll come back and look at Primordial here in Lagoon in Utah, because that's also a controlled. It doesn't spin a ton, but there is controlled rotation on it. So we're gonna go do some research on that one.
By the way, no one, especially in our family, is excited for the Fast and Furious coaster.
You may be.
I
We'll
don't
watch the
know.
video and we'll talk about it in the next episode. But so going back to the Guardians of the Galaxy, I wanted to come back to this because I actually thought the patent was pretty interesting. I didn't really, riding it. It's obviously a controlled spinner, but I didn't really realize what they were doing or to make the spinning happen as far as controlling the cars. So should I just get into the patent, or do you have anything else to say about it?
Not really.
So looking at figure one, this is the cart. It's on a track, and so what it's showing is that it has its own battery, and so the battery on the ride is going to do this controlled spinning and hold the car in position. And so they talk about it in the background. What's typically been done is that you would have a bus bar on these roller coaster rides that rotate, and it would supply, when you're in connection with the bus bar, you're conducting electricity across it, and then that can power the car to do the rotation through two conductors. One's on the track, one's on the car. You're passing electricity in between to do the rotation. So what this is doing is it's putting a battery on the car, and then they're saying, okay, we're going to charge the battery and they make it clear that they have to do it at certain points. So they usually do it in the station or on the lift hill, and then they're also going to do it somewhere in the ride, in the what they call the gravity base section. So that's where you're flying through the roller coaster. It's gonna to hit the patent, you're gonna have to charge the battery somewhere during the ride. And so going back to figure one, you can just see where there's a charging element on the track, and then there's onboard energy storage. Figure two shows the same thing, but then you can see this 242 is one of the conductors, and they start to split them out. You can see in figures three, they show one side is the one that's going to charge it while it's stationary, so that would be in the station, and then another one which could charge it, I guess, on the lift hill or in the gravity-based ride, which I would assume be after the lift hill. So when you're just passing, there'd be a set of these charging elements that would charge you as you go past, and they kind of just show the different variations of it in the rest of the figures. And so what the claims require mostly is to distinguish it from a bus bar or any sort of thing where you would just charge in the station. They talk about there's different points you need to charge on the gravity-based ride, and then when you're out of communication with that charging, the movement needs to happens when it's not being charged. So I'm charging, and then the battery's turning me at some section of the ride, and they have other claims, to kind of distinguish that I've got a stationary charger and a moving charger, and that I'm moving in the ride when I'm not hooked up to the charger, to distinguish from a traditional bus bar setup. So I'm using my battery only that's not being charged in the ride to turn the roller coaster. So that's the main thing there, and that's how they do Guardians of the Galaxy. Battery based, it's charged throughout the day. I think Will had questioned whether they charge them overnight, and that's something I don't know. It'd be interesting to know if they come in with full batteries, when the park opens in the morning. But it's an ongoing thing. It'd also be interesting if the battery's low, do they hold you in the station to give you a certain amount of charge to make sure the ride works? Because if your battery wasn't charged up enough, they wouldn't be able to turn you on the ride appropriately. And that's all I had on this one.
Wait, why would they turn you in the Fast and Furious coaster?
So we'll talk about that next time. There's it's to do the drift sensation. Do you know what drifting is?
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah, so when you come by like a corner, like you're drifting around a corner, like your tires are sliding.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to make it that feeling as you go, and we'll show the videos. There's Amusement Insider made some kind of Planet Coastery videos to kind of to show what they think the ride's going to be like and where it's turning. And so that gives you like the drift feel as you're flying, you know, even when you're upside down, stuff like that. So we'll talk about that next time. But so as far as we know right now, this is the main patent in the area with the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind coaster, and then we'll talk about the Fast and Furious coaster next time and what they could do to potentially get around Disney's patent in this area. So, do you want to sign us off?
Yes. Goodbye.
Goodbye.